Okay, the next two systems, systems 2 and 3. If we look at our picture here, we've got Skeletor and the guy without the skin. So we're going to talk about, these are some that, honestly, I'm sure you know about. Skeletal system is a system of bones found in your body, and the muscular system is the system of muscles. So we'll first talk about, why do you have bones? If you didn't have bones, you'd just be a piece of meat on the floor, right? You have to have structure. So the bones provide structure. So they support. And now, what is attached to bones? Muscles. That's why I'm talking about these two systems together. You have the muscles also. So between the bones and the muscles together, you have movement. So you have support, movement, protection. So when we talk about the skeletal system, there's a certain amount of protection. So if you think about your rib cage, right? So why do you have all that bone around your thoracic cavity? You have some really important organs in there, right? Why do you have bone surrounding your brain? It's for protection. One of the functions, so it's not just so you're not a piece of meat on the ground, or you can't, preventing you from moving, but one of the functions is for protection. And I'll never forget, there was a guy on TV, that crocodile hunter guy, and he was always doing things like catching danger, the most dangerous snake in the world. He'd go and pick it up, and some gigantic crocodile, he'd go put his head in his mouth. No, he didn't do that. But he would, he would mess around with them. And what happened to him? Maybe you know, maybe you don't know. A stingray stuck a spine into his heart. Now, your thoracic cage, your ribs and your sternum, one of its functions is to protect you. Now the problem is, if we were like a turtle, he would be alive today. If we were like a turtle, he would be alive today, but he wouldn't be able to jump around like he used to, right? Turtles are limited because they have so much bone. So with us, even though the sternum and the ribs are there to protect you, something like a stingray can get its spine into you. So it's a protective function. Oh, yes. So we have calcium, and everyone knows, in order to have strong bones, you should drink milk, right? Because it has calcium. But more importantly, so your heart can beat, you need calcium. Calcium is very important. It is a electrolyte. It is a ion that is necessary for muscle contraction. And so your body stores excess calcium in your bones, and when you need it, it pulls it out, because you die if you didn't have it for muscle function. So it's a storage site for calcium that's necessary for your muscles. Now, it may be no big deal that you can't, flex your muscle, but if your heart stops beating, it's a big deal. You die. If your thoracic cage stops expanding and your diaphragm stops moving up and down, you die. So muscles, we're sort of transitioning into the third system, right? Muscles, what are they about? Movement. They're about stability. If I was there in person, I would lean to the side and I wouldn't fall over, I hope. And the reason I wouldn't fall over is because of the muscles providing stability. You also communicate. These kinds of things. You can make funny faces, which communicate with people. You can speak. That's involving muscles. Heat production is another function. And finally, closing off openings. Close my mouth, close my eye. These are guarding openings. That's another function of the muscular system. Okay, that's 3 down.